the deal, YouTube? You know who it is. It's your boy Big Will. Life after prison. Let's run it. So this is the view I get to look at every day while I'm out here. Get to look at the water down there. You usually get to see the sun setting wherever it sets. You know, so I usually get to watch that sunset and see the traffic across the other side of the city and stuff. Brings it up the hill, all the way up, all the way down. Of course, I got my cameras, they watch everything, because you can't trust nobody nowadays. But the issue I want to talk about is snitching, or ratting, or being a teller. You know, we got this private joke, so I'm going to ask you a question, and you hit them with that. I don't work in the bank, meaning I'm not a teller, right? You can't get any info from me, right? But it just brings me back to this video that 1090 Jake posted. Shout out to him. Love your content. The Pino interrogation, where this motherfucker told on his self, his co-defendant, his neighbor, his friend, someone he called his brother. He told on everything. He said, I'll bring it to the girl's house. I'll show you her boyfriend's car. He went so far as to say, last time I did this, I sat down with the detectives and ratted. He didn't say the word ratted, but he said last time I did this, last time I sat down with the police and told them everything, I got charged with everything. So he never thought the interrogation tape would get out, right? So he told on himself about telling on himself many times. You know, so like, I just wonder how people can still talk to someone or trust someone. You know, he says he's a Hoover Crip. I don't believe that, for the fact that I don't think they allow that in their organization. You know, but everybody knows Pino. You know, that dude right there is no good. You know what I'm saying? He says he changed now. He's a family man. He's not in the streets. But back then, supposedly, he was in the streets and he was a gang member. He tells the cops he's a gang member. All that shit. And that's why he wanted to fade with 1090 Jake, because Jake exposed him, right? So that's the type of guy that you can't do nothing with, because if he gets caught, he's gonna tell on you. Jake couldn't have used a weapon or anything fighting him, because he's a rat. He'll tell on you, right? You know, I dealt with someone like this as a family member, you know, that I let live with me, and he set me up. He told on me. He was a confidential informant, right? Made 2 controlled buys off me. I did a 1.5 years, got on parole. Ended up violating because the girl that he was talking to, she set me up. You know, when I get out, but went back for 2.5 years. You know, so like, I don't talk to him. You know what I'm saying? And people always say, you know, I see people talking to him, and I'll tell them, listen, I'm not gonna not talk to you because you talk to D because he's a rat, right? But I want to let you know, once something happens and you go down, or you try to do something with him and you go down, I don't want to hear I told you so. You know, oh, geez, how come no one told me that the kid was a rat? And it's my own blood, and I put it out there. He's a rat. You know, and people say, you know, he says he didn't tell. And I'm like, do you think I would disgrace my own family name if the dude wasn't a rat? If there wasn't paperwork? If there wasn't a paper slid to me by an investigative lawyer that I hired, who had some friends in the police department, that slid the paper open and said, this is the name, showed his name, his face, social security number, birth date, everything, all his charges. Daryl Dupras. Who's that? That's my uncle, I said. He said, well, that's the CI. That's the one that set you up. You know, and there's all blue flags later on after the fact, because I actually called him on the phone talking to, he had a card with, I had the state badge showing that they're a police officer on the card, and I seen it, and I was like, yo, who the fuck are you talking to? And he was like, oh no, that's an investigator. I saw a fight at Dunkin' Donuts, and you know, they want information from me. And I'm like, nah, that don't sound right, dude. He would have got information or whatever when he gave you the card. I said, and second of all, you don't call the law from my house. You know what I'm saying? I'm a street dude. I don't if there's problems, I don't handle them with the law. I don't call the law. I handle them myself. You know. Now, the only way I would call the law or get them involved is like if someone stole my car or my motorcycle, my scooter, someone broke into my house, if someone kidnapped my child or molested my child, things like that. And if I knew who it was, yeah, I would take street violence, right? Street justice. But if I don't know who did something like that, I would have to contact the law, right? But as far as seeing somebody do something, a crime, I don't call the law, you know. As far as you offending me, I don't call the law, I deal with it, you know what I'm saying? You know, when I was sitting in the police department and, you know, I had 4 detectives looking at me and say, you can walk home right now. All you gotta do is drop some names. I could have left with a snap of a finger. And I looked at the cop and I'm like, you fucking with the wrong dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should know me. You know, I'll take my time and did my time, you know, but you got people like Mighty Mouse and Pino hanging around together. One knows the other one's a convicted fucking sex offender, and the other one knows the other one's a fucking certified rat. He's on paperwork, and these dudes hang with each other, you know. So when they're out and Mighty Mouse is checking out little girls, Pino's gonna call the cops on them. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no fucking honor. You got 2 guys with no honor that hang together. You know, and then people expose them. That's like Milk 74. He exposed Miko Worldwide. He had charges for molesting a little boy. You know, it's like, how do these motherfuckers do shit like this? How do they're YouTubers. Wait, you don't think you're gonna get hung out to dry? You don't think people are gonna come at you? You don't think you're gonna, because you happen to put out good content, you know, that, you know, oh, I'm a sex offender, but I know how to draw good, so I'll make you cards in prison. I don't want your shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want you to fucking come next to me, you know? I just don't understand how these people nowadays can fuck with someone who's a certified rat, this paperwork. You know, my brother did 7.5 years, day for day, for stabbing somebody because the kid's house that it happened in, he got arrested with some coke. Scott Parker, everybody knows him, he's a fucking rat. Scott Parker, no good. Everybody knows he's a rat, right, from my area. But he got arrested with some coke, and He straight told everything that happened on my brother, you know. And hadn't it been for him, my brother would have got away with it, which it was self-defense to begin with, because the dude pulled out a knife on my brother. My brother ended up stabbing him. Where it turned not self-defense and offensive was when the dude was trying to crawl away, and my brother stabbed him in the back 6 times, broke 2 knives off in his back, you know, sliced his face cut his eye out, cut his tongue in half, cut his, you know, his whole face, because he punched him with the knife, and it just cut everything right down. The dude's got a glass eye now, but you know, it turned offensive, not defensive, when the dude was trying to crawl out of the house and my brother was stabbing him down the stairs in the back, you know. But he would have got, the self-defense would have worked for him hadn't he done that, you know. But when you're drinking and it's in that heat of the moment, that happens. But there's a fucking teller everywhere in this world. And today it's even worse with all the cameras and shit. Everybody's got a phone or a camera, like my camera's up there. Everybody is a teller. There's cameras everywhere. My neighbor's got them on his porch. My neighbor over there's got them in his house. That neighbor's got them in his house. They're everywhere. You can't get away with it. And people, the first thing they do, because if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. The first thing they do when they get arrested is, I can tell you about this person and that person, and I can tell you about a burglary, and I can tell you who's breaking into cars, and I can tell you who's selling drugs, and I can tell you anything you want. They end up telling. And at the same time, the filthy cops that are arresting people for selling drugs, they're taking that the drugs off of the people, the evidence, and they're turning around, they're putting it back on the streets, and they're giving it to their fiends to tell them information. You know, there's just no honor in this world against people. Things have changed. You know, there's no solid people nowadays, and it's a shame, man, because you end up living in a small circle, you know, if you're still in that life, because you can't trust nobody out there, you know. And you can be the meanest, hardest person, someone will tell on you to get you off the streets, you know. People, that's what they do, you know. They tell. But the police can't always be there to save you. And one of these days, you're going to get yourself got, as they say, for opening your mouth in the wrong time, you know. I don't know, it's just a short video to say, man, dudes don't have no honors nowadays. And like I said, this Miko Worldwide, he's out there molesting kids. His paperwork now. Mighty Mouse, he's a YouTuber. He's a convicted rapist. His paperwork. Pino, convicted. He's certified. His paperwork. Rat, more than once, as he tells on himself in the interview. You know, so he going on doing shit. As soon as the cops come, well, I'll tell you this. But then turn around and look at something and be like, yeah, I did 10 years in jail. Motherfucker, yeah. Motherfuckers are bitches. You know, you try to get out of it. But the judge said, nah, I ain't having that. You can tell all you want. Because the prosecutor can only give their determination, what they think should happen. It's up to the judge to ultimately take that advice, you know. And judges, they see right through, and they can see that shitbags, they you know, they're out stealing and selling drugs and blah blah blah. And you think you're just going to tell on somebody that's all going to get wiped away? No, you did the crime too. Do a time, you know. There ain't nobody that can save you. Oh, big deal. Instead of 3 years, you got 1. Motherfuckers are bitches, man. And I don't know how you can look in the mirror and smile at yourself and look at yourself and think that you're something, man. You ain't a stand-up character. But y'all let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do snitches still get stitches nowadays, or are they that protected? I know in jail they're that protected. Can't fuck with a rat or a ripper in jail because you get charged. But nowadays everybody thinks it's cool to snitch. If you ain't telling, you ain't cool. What do you people think of that? There's no honor nowadays. Motherfuckers quick to pull out a gun and then point the finger at people. Look at Young Thug, his whole crew. They're spending money, they're having a good time. Now they're all indicted and they're all pointing fingers. He's crazy, he'll kill us. Blah, blah, blah. No honor. But they sat right on the side of him and spent that money, right? And jumped into videos and all this bullshit. As soon as the po-po come knocking at your door and hit you with, oh, you're getting 20 years, motherfuckers roll. They roll over faster than a dog in the grass. I don't know. A little advice, people. If you're gonna do shit, do it by yourself. If you need somebody with you to do it, make sure you know the person. Make sure you know they're solid. Make sure you know, or you haven't heard anything about them. Or just don't do crime. Don't do something illegal, you know. Because people will tell on you. And then you're gone, you know. Careful what you do out there. There's cameras everywhere. But just practice peace and love and positivity. And all things are good. And with that, like, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And we'll see you on the next one. Life After Prison.